Well, here we are on July the 9th, leaving Edinburgh Airport for Guthrie. We've just completed roughly a 2-week cruise through to the Arctic Circle and back. Leaving out of Copenhagen, and quite beautiful. I've posted some of the pictures already. You will have seen them on the social media. And we went up a fjord with only maybe, 30 feet to spare, 30 to 50 feet to spare on each side of the big ship. And supposedly it's the biggest ship that can go up those fjords in Norway. And we were at the top of the Cape, the North Cape in Norway, which is the northernmost part of Europe. Now that's saying something, except for the fact that Sally and I have both been to the Arctic magnetic North Pole, but which is several hundred miles further north than that. But it was quite interesting, and to see how the Vikings lived. And one of the interesting things that during the various tours that we went on is to find out the famous Norwegian composer Grieg used to carry a frog just like this in his pocket and rub it for good luck. So we bought a couple for obvious reasons, and he was originally from Scotland, from Aberdeen, and the canny Scots fucking up the literary history by going up there and making the most famous Norwegian composer, born in Scotland but raised all his life in Norway. And it was we attended some concert, and it was quite interesting. But needless to say, him rubbing the frogs for good luck follows in or I'm following his footsteps, I should say, that you got to kiss a lot of frogs to make Kyole work. Now, we have been putting up a new little snippets of between 60 and 90 seconds about famous things that I've said, or rude remarks that I've said that have been resonated quite well with the kids, you being the kids. And so we will continue that. We're also working on a new project. We're still working on the veteran, the actual launch of the campaign is this coming week. We've done a lot of work, and there's been a lot of material put together, but the launch of it to gather support and momentum starts next week, where we've reached out to some very high profile military guys and some government officials and some TV personalities for assistance. And so we're looking forward to that. In addition, we're working on a new project that we will be announcing shortly, to allow the kids more interface with me. So and that should be coming out in the next few weeks. By the time that this airs, I will have probably already. I'm not saying this for sympathy. I'm just doing it for a statement of fact, because I don't want false information to get out. I'm going in for surgery on August the 2nd. Some body parts of mine have worn out, and I'm having them replaced with some more bionics in my body, and then I will be not recuperating as long as they say, but I'll be in some form of recuperation. So I've had to alter my schedule for travel a bit. i.e., I won't be going to Ireland, and I won't be going a couple other places, and I'll be castle centric. The surgery is right 3 or 4 days after the completion of the next upcoming seminar, which starts on the 20th of July, which will have already should have already started and ended by the time this is on the air. And so we're looking forward to it. As of last week, it was all fully booked, and we haven't announced another date for another seminar. But that seminar from the 20th to the 28th of July is fully booked. The Oxford talk, which is about an hour and 40 minutes, including the beginning and the end, where I'm being toured around Oxford, has been very successful. It's the second or third most successful thing that we've put on the internet. The most successful has been the short piece that I did in part of the introduction of the last interview I did with Brian Rose, and it has got over 250,000 downloads as of now, and it went viral, and it resonated very, very well with the kids, and and I'm not that surprised. A couple other of the teaser downloads that Brian used for the introduction of that had a lot of support, but not anywhere near as much as that one that is in excess of 250,000 downloads now. But next to that, the download on YouTube for Oxford has really went over well, and it still never ceases to amaze me. And I've said this countless times till I'm blue in the face. Everything on that you kids need to make QLA work is on my website, free, 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 and and again, 99.999% of the people that have benefit using the QLA model, 7-step model, I've never met, I've never seen. I wouldn't know if they, pissed on my foot. And the ones that have made the big money, I would be disingenuous if I didn't say that I had laid hands on them like a preacher, and I had personal interface with them. I was asked a question by my mentee at Oxford, Henry Lee, during the setup time before he opened it up to questions to the students and the QLA mentees and devotees that were there. For the people in this room, could everybody in this room make 100 million using QLA? And I said no. And they should have had the camera back, shooting back on the kids when I answered that question, not on me, but they didn't. And then I went on to explain, and the reason, quite simply, was because the kids in this room have led a bubble-wrapped life and elitist, if you will, and they weren't willing to make the sacrifices that are required. It's that simple. Now, having spent a couple of days there, and I'm sure I'll take some flack from various of you about this, but it's a beautiful campus, Oxford University. In the first time they had people that of record teaching there or trying to learn something was in about 1080 or 1090. It's unbelievably beautiful. I mean, the 30 plus colleges, most of which are old kibble colleges, especially beautiful. They have these magnificent chapels. And I think I mentioned this before, but the more I thought about it, And the more that I've looked at the YouTube, because I like watching myself on YouTube as well as you guys, it's not surprising that a kid that would go to a school like that, or a Cambridge, or a Harvard, or wouldn't think that they were special, if you will, and because you walk around there and it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Now, it wasn't lost on the students, because I only that when you take an aerial view of Guthrie and the environs, the estate, it's not dissimilar to the Oxford campus. Now, I've never been to Cambridge campus, so I can't tell. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm told it's beautiful. But Oxford is something very, very special. So the kids that go to those kind of schools, they get out and they expect that their speciality of being special is going to come to fruition. And the sadness of it is that not always does that happen, because even if you went to Oxford or any of the other great schools, you still got to put in your time and you still got to make the sacrifices. And the kids that don't understand that aren't able to take advantage. Now, it's not lost on me that the people that are the two finalists to be prime minister here in Britain as of now are two women, and the leading one, who was Home Secretary, I believe, is an Oxford gal. And so it's not surprising that the second female prime minister of Great Britain will be an Oxford gal, as was the first, and Mrs. Thatcher was an Oxford gal herself. So I mean, one of the things that came up, and I mentioned that they asked me what I thought was going to be the outcome of the referendum. And referendum meaning the Brexit vote. And I said that I didn't think anything was going to change, and that the QLA was developed, as I've written, developed and modeled during a declining market. So after a massive sell-off in the stock markets and the various exchanges around the world, 600 one day on the Dow in America, and 300 or 300 plus the next day, they've rebounded, and now we're above where the stock exchanges were for the most part post-Brexit, as they were pre-Brexit. Now, my own personal opinion, and one of the things that we're going to delve into in some detail at the seminar upcoming, and the next seminars that I give the rest of this year, or whenever they are, is how do we take advantage of Brexit? Now, as I was getting on the plane in Copenhagen a few hours ago, I heard some pundit on CNN that was quoting somebody, I don't know if it was from the Bank of England, but that it was most assuredly that Great Britain was going to go into a recession based on Brexit vote. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that it really doesn't matter. And I'm not saying it's not important that the kids that are getting laid off and losing their jobs, etc. That's not important. But what I'm saying is to amassing wealth with QLA, it really doesn't matter, because we still have more money than we've ever had on the planet. We're flush with cash. And various countries, including not just the United States, is happy to keep printing it. And as I told the Oxford kids, they're going to kick themselves in the ass 5, 10, 15 years from now when they say, "What the fuck were we doing when they were printing money and it was a environment of almost totally free money? It was coming out everybody's ears. Did I take advantage of that? Free money and low interest rates." And for the most part, most people are going to say no, they didn't, and not because they didn't have the opportunity to take advantage of it. I don't mean take advantage of it in a negative way. But take advantage of it so you could use it to fulfill your own dreams. And then, as one of the things that the kids looked shocked at Oxford, which again surprises me, is that we named off several of the do-gooders, Elon Musk to name one, Zuckerberg to name another, and that they're giving back to the world and trying to make the world a better place. Great. But they all made a lot of fucking money first. Without the money, it's just a bunch of piss poor ideas, some of which work, most of which don't, and some of which will work.